Okay, so the assignment this week is to pick 1 to 2 angels and 1 to 2 ascended masters to put on our vision board and put our focus and thoughts on them each day. Call them in, learn to talk to them, to question them each day, and we're going to do our best to make a relationship with them that they will come in all the time. That's the goal. So I was told to put this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because currently on Earth about 4 billion people wake up every day. They don't know if they're going to have food or good water, sleep. They don't know if they're going to be able to have a place to go to the bathroom or they're not out in the middle of the world. And so, you know, we've got to move these people up the echelon, up the ladder of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the next level is security. You know, right now in the United States, they're making us feel very insecure with all the chaos going on. And so it's important that we maintain order and that we meditate with the thought of bringing order and bringing peace and freedom. And so, very important. The next level is love and belonging. You know, a lot of people's families have been broken up and a lot of problems there, and we need to have our friendship, family, and our intimacy with our family, and very important. Then we move up into self-esteem, where we gain confidence, we have achievements, we have respect for others, and they have respect for us. And the way we develop this is through an association with ascended masters. It's really interesting, as you talk to others, you find that they have a rough time with even their own self-esteem. And we have to move to a higher level of self-esteem in order to get to self-actualization. And so I'm going to be teaching techniques of self-esteem during this mentoring so that we can raise our vibration up into the highest, which is teaching of morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts and acceptance of others, tolerance. Because that's up in the self-actualization, and that's actually vibrating in the love consciousness. So when Maslow did this, he actually knew the different levels and the higher psychiatric levels. Now this is the map of consciousness. The map of consciousness was made by David Hawkins, MD, PhD. He was a psychiatrist, and he actually started out trying to disprove kinesiology. I actually knew him, and I talked to him, and he told me the story of how people, when Prozac came out, which was the first antidepressant that actually beat placebo, and people would bring in their prescription for Prozac, and they'd slam it on his desk, that or Zoloft or the new ones, you know, Paxil. And they would slam him on his desk, say, "This didn't test good for me." And he said, "Who tested it?" "My chiropractor, my naturopath." "Well, how did they test it?" "With kinesiology." And he said, "That's a bunch of hogwash." And so he started out trying to disprove kinesiology, and he found that it worked. And so he made this map of consciousness, and he started testing everything. Literally, he tested different emotions and where they vibrated. And this is on a logarithmic scale. So 100 to 200 is actually 1,000 times more energy. And so When 9/11 happened, we moved from courage down into fear, which is a logarithmic change. And they've been trying to control humans through fear throughout time. Because if they can keep us in fear, they can keep us in a lower vibration. Now, believe it or not, fear, it vibrates, fear and anxiety vibrates at the same vibration as parasites. So if you're in fear and you are in anxiety, it's a sign that parasites are in your body. And we're more susceptible to these things. If you're down in shame, blame, and guilt, you have viruses. If you're in desire, anger, hate, and craving, you're actually got a fungal infection. And then grief and apathy is in the bacterial, the bad bacteria. Now there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. And when you have bad bacteria, it puts you in grief, apathy, regret, and despair. So it's fascinating how different things vibrate at different vibrations. But we're trying to bring ourselves up into love consciousness, move into joy, serenity, bliss, peace, and get up into enlightenment. Because that's where the Ascended Masters are, and that's where we're headed. So with the law of association, what does that actually mean? The beings and people we associate with and focus upon become our lifestyle. So we've got to choose good, high vibrating friends. We got to make our thoughts high vibrating, and our destiny and our future will come in alignment with that law of association. So my job is to help you focus on the highest vibrating beings, which are the ascended beings of light and love. And that's where we're headed, is we're headed toward the ascension, which is moving into that fifth dimensional, non-traumatic world. And it will be peaceful, blissful, full of love and happiness and bliss and joy. You know, it's going to be up in the higher vibrations. And my job is to help teach people how to get there, and then you guys go out and teach people how to get there, and with that we're going to fill the whole world with good things by the law of association. Now, the law of attraction is very similar. It states whatever you focus on, think about, read about, and talk about intensely, you're going to attract more. So if we're out there talking about the chaos, talking about bad things that are happening, what does that attract to us? And so we need to ask for what you want and be prepared to get it. That was a statement by Maya Angelou. And the thing about that is we have to think about higher things, more peaceful things, more orderly things, more moral things, to get the world vibrating in a higher vibration. Get our world vibrating in it first. It attracts more to us because we're doing that. And number 3 here, it's unlimited what the universe can bring when you understand the great secret that thoughts become things. When we think something, we're shooting out energy. And if we add the love of our heart, it makes it 1,000,000 times more powerful. I talk about this all the time. Our brain is in millivolts. Our heart gets up to 6 kilovolts of energy. And when we add our thoughts to our heart's love and come in congruence or association with our love and our mind, we make ourselves in a higher vibration, and it's very powerful vibration. And so what you think, you create. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you become. Now, I told everybody to kind of make a vision board put things around that remind you of the Ascended Masters. You saw this slide last week, and every day I come up and I look at these 5 beings who vibrate in unconditional love, and I look at the Mighty I Am Presence, which is a representation of our God within. And so, and then you put down your goals there. My goals are there, and I have the threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power. I have other things that are important for me as a person. I want to get an electric car and you know, do as little polluting as I can. And one of the things I really love is Mother Mary. She helped heal my leg when I got hit with an energy weapon. And let me tell you, Mother Mary and her grace, her kindness, her love is amazing. So she's on my vision board also. Now, the law of association with higher beings, the law of association or attraction states that whatever you focus on, think about, read about, and talk about intensely, you're going to attract more. And so that's why I'm saying we need to make an association or a friendship an actual relationship with the ascended beings. And it's very important for us to do that. Now, when we change the way we think about things, the things around us change. Now, that's a quote that Wayne Dyer used to say. And he got it actually from another source. But what we want to do, one of the things that Vicki and I are really looking at is going to the void and manifesting our desires. And so the void is where God created the universe. The void is the nothing. And you get there through your intent and through meditating. The second time I did transcendental meditation, I went to the void. And there was nothing there. And I was so bored out of my mind, I didn't know what to do. And what I should have done was start creating what I desired, because that's where that happens. So go to the void and manifest your desires. Now, the law of association also, it talks about nerves that fire together, wire together. So whatever we think about all the time connects us to those things, and it becomes habitual or a part of our life. So what we focus upon becomes that. We are guilty by association. So let's make sure we're associated with the higher beings of light and love. Okay, now the law of association also, whatever we focus on, again, becomes a part of our life. So keep pictures, statues, paintings of loving beings, teachers in our space, poems, positive statements, guides, heroes, writers, books, 24-strand DNA manifestation, decrees, and weekly accountability paper to show our subconscious we're making progress. We're actually accomplishing things. Now, our subconscious needs evidence. And the subconscious gets programmed during the first 8 years of our life. And we literally get associations from how the adults around us are acting, how other children are treating us, how we're treated ourselves. And so a lot of us get stuck in the psychology of the subconscious, and we just feel not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. You know, there's all these things going on. And we have to change our subconscious. And the way you do that and get beyond the walls of the subconscious is you associate with higher-minded things. You start doing higher-minded things, and things start shifting in your life through the law of association and the law of attraction. And they bring you into a better environment, that abundance and happiness and joy start coming in because we're associating with these higher minded things, and our subconscious actually starts to shift. That's why Jesus said it's better to be as a child, because we will gain the kingdom of heaven, because you are teachable and you are happier, you are more playful. And that's why it's so important to move into that state where we get into our subconscious, reprogramming it to help us become better people and better individuals and go to higher states of consciousness. So these are two pictures that I just really love, and that's why I put them on here. I love Saint Germain and Jesus. You know, we can call him Yeshua, Yahushua. You know, there was a lot of things, and people say, oh, his name wasn't that because they didn't have a J. And so, you know, we have to look at the past to really gain an understanding of the future. Now, Mother Mary was an Essene, and the Essenes actually had 24 strands of DNA. And when Jesus was born, he was born with perfected 24 strands of DNA. And with that, you're more able to manifest. Plus, he had an auric field that didn't have all the gunk ours does. And so Jesus was able to heal people. He was able to teach people, exude this love that attracted people around him. And that was very positive. We also can get back to that, and that's why Saint Germain brought the 24 strands of DNA. So one of the assignments I want you to do is do that every day. Now, the other thing that we need is protection from negative energies, because we have so much negativity going on through the chaos. We need to protect ourselves, and the decrees for putting my world in divine order will do that. So I sent that out to everybody. If you didn't get it, email me and ask for it, and we'll send it to you. Now, I have a story to tell you. It was really interesting. When I was in Hawaii, the 12 kahuna appeared to me. And they said that Hawaii is the most peaceful place on the planet. That's why everybody likes to vacation there. And the reason why, the kahuna said, aloha and peace are the Elohim who are over the island of Oahu. And their emanation goes out throughout the Hawaiian Islands of this peaceful aloha energy. And so every book that I've written so far, I wrote in Hawaii, because I was able to tune in to the higher vibrations, law of association and attraction again. Now, another story is I was told when I was going through my divorce to go hike Half Dome. This is a picture of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park, and it's a hard hike to get to the top, let me tell you. And when I got about 2 miles from the top, I ended up having a heart attack. I was only 45 years old, and I had a heart attack, and I laid down on the ground. My friend said, I'll go up and get the Rangers to call a helicopter up because you're having a heart attack. He was an EMT, worked for the LA Sheriff's Department for years, and he knew the signs and symptoms. And so did I. My whole left arm went dead. I couldn't even move. My heart was just, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. So I laid down, and my daughter said, I quit breathing and turned purple. Well, when that happened, I heard this voice say, you need to let go. And I was like, let go of what? And it was interesting because it said, you need to let go of your current wife. And, you know, being in the training I was, in the religion I was in, you don't get divorced. And yet I'd been told by Jesus I needed to get divorced, but I wasn't moving quickly enough, and my heart was really having a lot of heaviness and pain and problems. So